Good morning, everybody. I'm excited. I am excited this morning because it's a good morning. And I'm so grateful. I woke up this morning with so much gratitude. I woke up this morning with so much hope. And I'm really excited about 2021. So today I want to share a list of things that I learned in 2020. This will be my last video for the year. I'm taking the rest of the year off. I got some business things to take care of for 2021 to make sure I'm focused. So, but I will be writing. You can continue to check out my website, agirlaftergodsheart.com. And yeah, I will continue writing. That won't stop. But I won't make any more vlogs until 2021. And also, if you're looking for a gift idea, God, a lesbian in the space in between. Y'all, I've been getting so many reviews about this book. I'm so proud of it. It's the one thing in my life that I'm the most proud of because of what it took to write it. Yeah. So the struggle actually provides the value for the reward. But we'll leave that right there. Okay. So, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check in with me every week. I'm so happy to share everything that I'm hearing, learning, understanding, growing with every year. I love sharing my stories. I love sharing my experiences because that's how we grow. That's how we learn. That's how we become, better. And I'm excited. So here are the list of things that I learned in 2020, right? It's called the Cadence of Contentment. That's what I call this list. I know, but I just love writing. The Cadence of Contentment. I'm a dork. Okay, number one. Whatever enemy you allow to exist within your space because of love will eventually kill you. How many times have we looked at the behaviors, actions, and decisions and choices that others have made around us concerning us that have made you go, I don't know if that's okay. I don't think that's okay. No. What you have to do is talk about it with a professional, I think. I'm always an advocate for therapy. But whatever you see, whatever red flags you see, immediately you have to address those within yourself. You've got to address those with someone else. Hey, what do you think about this? I thought that was kind of crazy. What did you think? Yeah, you think it's crazy too? Okay, yep. And, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to cut a person off. I will address what to do next in a few bullet points down. But make sure you identify specifically the things that might cause you harm. And you want to keep that person or that thing around you because of love. You've got to be very careful about that, making that type of choice. Number two, waiting is the best part. Learning how to wait with grace is key. So in 2020, I had to do a lot of waiting. And in my waiting, God was like, okay, Michelle, not only do I want you to wait, but I want you to have the best experience while you wait. I want you to surround yourself with so much positivity that the wait actually seems more refreshing than the progress. And I thought about that, and it like hurt my head when I first thought about it. I was like, wait, what? Like, but it made so much sense. God told me, he was like, Michelle, you've got to understand that each moment of your time should be lived in the understanding that I will work everything out for your good. You got to live with that as a creed. You've got to live with that as a mantra. Everything will work out for my good. So no matter what's going on, no matter what's happening, good or bad, while you're waiting for the answer, while you're waiting for the outcome, I want you to have fun. I was like, really? While I wait, you want me to have fun? Y'all, God loves me, and I love God too. Yes. Okay, number three. My expectations of relationships has always been the problem. What I expect for myself, I expect for others as well. And that is not a good thing. That is not a good thing because number one, it's not fair to the other person. They don't have the same experiences I have. Number two, it was a picture perfect ideal. And I think movies contribute to that a lot. They show you that everybody's gonna love you, everybody's gonna hug you and want to hang out with you. No, they won't. So I had to separate how I hold myself accountable, or the standards that I hold myself to, from what I needed from other people to be content. It was so convoluted. It was so stressful. And then once I realized it, I was like, oh, okay. And so I'm learning, I'm growing, and that's one of the greatest lessons of this year. I'm so thankful to God for showing me that. Number 4, boundaries are more important than connection. So let's go back to number 1. Whatever enemy you allow to exist within your space because of love will eventually kill you. Now, boundaries, they happen. They have to be there. And there was a couple, Stephanie and I helped a few years ago with their housewarming. And we helped them set up for the next day and everything. So, and because we helped them late the night before, we were allowed to stay over because they're friends. And the next day, though, I saw something very phenomenal. It might not have been that phenomenal to you, but they put a rope in front of the stairway so no one can go upstairs. They didn't give access to everybody to some of the spaces in their home because that was their private space. And boundaries, y'all, I never really thought about boundaries until this year. And having healthy boundaries is very, very, very important for yourself and for the other person. Not everyone has the capacity to understand every part of you. Thus, you have to close some doors in a relationship to some people because they just aren't equipped. They aren't knowledgeable. They don't know all of you. And most of the time, it takes a lifetime for anybody to know all of you. And then they still will have things to learn. Number 5, timing is more important than the message. Oh, let me tell y'all, I've been learning that one for a few years. It's been a very, very hard, very embarrassing, very, a very tough lesson that I've had to learn. Timing is more important than the message. Because no matter what information you have, if it's not at the right time, it's not going to be heard. So that was a good lesson for me. Number 6, there is freedom and peace in acceptance. Acceptance promotes healthy self-evaluation. Now, when I was looking at, a few of these, they fed off of each other. So number 1 for me, whatever enemy you allow to exist within your space because of love will eventually kill you. And boundaries are more important than connection. That tied in my opinion, to the freedom and peace that I get from acceptance. Once I accepted the situation for what it was, then I was able to move on and separate myself from emotionally being damaged in any way. And I'll give you an example. So in 2017, I lost my job and then I decided to grow my own business. And what happened throughout that time was it had so much substance in it. Like a good pot of like vegetable soup, like you taste it, it's vegetables, it's good for you. But when you taste it, it's like, that's some good vegetable soup, right? So that's what that experience was for me. Losing my job in 2017 was one of the hardest things that I dealt with because I kept going back to it. I kept looking at everything, all the situations. I'm just like, man, it was terrible. I could have done that different, or, maybe I could have gone around that way, trying to put myself in a position where I wouldn't have lost my job. But what I didn't realize is that God was preparing me for COVID. He was preparing me to be in a space financially and professionally where I didn't have to go outside to talk to people in order to make money. I didn't have to leave my house. I can sit here, log in, have a good day, and also, make some money. But if I had just accepted that situation for what it was, the stress, the anxiety, and the mental duress I could have avoided. And that's why that's where the waiting part came in, where God wanted me to learn how to wait with grace and grace for myself as well. So there is so much freedom and acceptance. And now, because of that situation in 2017, I can look at some things in 2020 and be like, so I accept that. I accept it for what it is. And whatever God is doing, whatever is happening, whatever is in the background, I'm okay with God doing it because he's brought me out before and he's shown me specifically and intricately how much waiting with grace and acceptance, how much value that brings to my life. It re-illuminates the value of everything, and spending time with my dog, spending time with my wife, even looking at the trees while I'm sitting down on my porch, y'all. Drinking a cup of coffee. It's been peaceful. Number 7, if it doesn't fit, I won't force it. It is what it is, y'all. I'm so sick of trying to make stuff fit, make people fit, make situations fit into this agenda that God has for my life. It's too much. It's exhausting. Number 8, I have to be responsible with rejection. Again, it ties all back into those other numbers. Acceptance. Making sure that I evaluate appropriately and provide boundaries for myself. Rejection is one of the most important components that will build your faith. It's one of the key ingredients that will allow you to be able to walk through any level of tension or stress and still be able to accomplish what you're supposed to accomplish. That's the goal. That's the goal. Being responsible with rejection, learning the lessons, going over over the events in your mind with a healthy perspective and kindness towards yourself. Yes, sir. Okay, number 9, undesirable situations are key components to building a momentum of faith. God needs to build that momentum of faith in us because he's going to have something later down the road that we're going to need that faith for, just like what I'm dealing with right now. So that 2017 incident was a faith builder. So I have a cadence of believing. I have a cadence of understanding and resting in the fact that everything will work out for my good. Number 10, the absence of the thing we wish to have in the presence of what has already been provided shows a lack of faith and trust in the provider. So looking at your situation, looking at where you are, looking at how things are going, if you look at them with an ungrateful heart or a lack of gratitude, it's like telling God, what you provided me is not good enough because I'm not satisfied. But we don't really know what satisfies us the way God does. Again, that trust, that dependence. You know how you lean on a wall? Like when you tie, you just lean, right? You got to lean on the understanding that God will make everything good for you. Number 11, pray over myself daily. Woo! For the many negative things, for the many negative prayers that are whispered. And you would be surprised at who's praying these things. And the prayer can be a set of words. Oh, they ain't gonna never be nothing. Oh, they not gonna do that. Oh, that's not gonna work out. Those are prayers. Those are things that people are speaking out of their mouth that you need to pray against and counter. So every morning I get up and I spend and this is not nothing religious. This is for survival, actually. This is not spiritual. It's not for me to be out there like, oh my God, I pray every day. No, I pray to live. I pray to survive. And for all the negative things that people say about or against me, what I do is I pray that God compartmentalize it and break it. Every negative word, every negative prayer, every negative thing that anybody could ever say or pray over me has no effect. Because I believe that greater is he that's in me. Number 12, and the last thing, face it anyway. Get in front of that thing. Figure out how you are responding to it. Are you responding to it in a healthy way? Do you have boundaries set up just to make sure that the most intimate parts of you are protected? Face it anyway. So those are my 12 lessons for this year. 12 out of 195,000. Yes, absolutely. Okay, so here are my goals for 2021, and I'll let y'all go. Lose 50 pounds. Amen. Everybody want to lose weight. learn how to exist in a stressful situation without my blood pressure going up. Woo! Yeah, it's going to take a lot, but I'm going to do it. Publish 2 books, expand business nationally, become better at YouTubing. I got to make sure I entertain y'all because compared to my to other people's YouTubes, my joints are like I need a little color or something on there. Develop a more sensitive spiritual ear. Woo! That is my desire. It's a personal desire of mine. And take on any challenge, any fight with the gladiator mentality. Let's go. No, for real, y'all. I listen to the gladiator theme song some mornings when I wake up just to get myself pumped up. What theme music do you listen to? Anyway, that's all I got, y'all. Y'all be safe out there. Have a good 2020 New Year's. And make sure you pray over yourself every day. It's your responsibility to counter everything that is negative that is spoken over your life. And that's all I got. I love y'all. Y'all have a good rest of y'all year. And I'll see y'all next year. All right. Be blessed.